Hi guys, this is Tina Monk, the owner of Natural Suds and More, and the author of the Soap Making Handbook, Volume 1. I wrote this book to be a guide for beginners and a resource guide for experts. And, this is something that I wished I would have had when I was learning to make soap. And, we all have to start somewhere, but if you have this book, it's going to save you so much time and so much money and trial and error and trying to figure out things. That's why I have written this book, to save you time and to save you money, because I know how much stuff that I went through and all the frustrations and trying to figure stuff out. And like I said, I wish I would have had this when I was first beginning. So, and I do have an emphasis on using the non-GMO and the organic ingredients. But this book is just detailed. It's 248 pages, and with the third edition. And it goes over cold process soap, hot process soap, fluid hot process, the SGHP, which is pictured here, and liquid soap. And the bulk of this book is to help you understand how to create your own recipes, to have a very deep understanding of the fatty acids so that you know exactly what you're doing. And I'm going to go over the table of contents for you so that you have an idea of what's in here. Now, this is an ebook, so I have designed this to be really easy to maneuver through it. You can click on all of these and it goes right to the chapter, and the chapter heading will, if you click on that, it'll come right back to the table of contents. So it saves you so much time, and not only that, but you can search in the ebook. So you can't remember where superfat is at, you just want to type it in and it'll bring up wherever superfat is at. So it makes things so much easier than flipping back and forth between pages in a real book. But I know a lot of people still want the hard copy. So this book is printable, and if you so choose, like I did, I went to Office Max and had them print a copy for me, and they put it on a spiral binder. And so you do have that option if you want a print copy. Hopefully someday I get the print copies made, but we'll run through the table of contents here for you. Okay, so I have a brand new to soap making. I have an introduction. I have lye safety, soap making equipment, the history, the science, handcrafted versus the commercial store-bought bars. I go over Facebook groups, and I go over my group, which is the soap making and business coaching. And I detail the anatomy of the skin because, as soap makers, we clean the skin. So I think it's very important to have that in there. And I also have drawn a skin anatomy picture for you because I'm an artist as well. So that is in there for you. So all of this in the book is my art. It's my research, it's my trial and error, it's my pictures, and like everything in here has been done by me. Okay, I also go over picking your oils to give you an understanding of how the oils are processed, and some of this has been updated for the third edition as well. Percentages of oils to use in cold process recipes, understanding fatty acids, understanding superfat, the fatty acid charts for the oils and their properties. This has been totally revamped for the third edition, and this is a precursor to another huge project I have coming up for those that have already bought the book, and later it'll be available to everyone else, but it's going to be offered at a discount for people that have already bought the book. So, and I've already talked about it in my group a little bit, but if you're subscribed to my website, you will be notified when all this stuff happens. So it's still in the works right now, but it's some awesome stuff coming up. I also go over how I create recipes, and I give you just some information on balancing the fatty acids in your recipes, just to give you a better idea. I go over the Saponification Chart, how to calculate a recipe by hand, how to calculate how many oils you need to fit your mold, how to line your wood loaf mold. I go over colorants, natural colorants, what is considered natural and what isn't. I go over essential oils. There's so much information out there about essential oils that I just kind of briefly go over that. But I do give you some other resources if you want to dig in deeper on the essential oils. I go over some additives you can add to your soap. I go over gel phase, soda ash, cold process, oven process, buying supplies, getting started with basic recipes, your grocery store beginner recipes, and what was new for the second edition was the palm-free recipes and the coconut oil-free recipes and the vegan palm-free fluid hot process recipes. So those were all for the second edition. So the third edition is, mainly just the fatty acid charts, and I will show you those briefly. Okay, and I give you step-by-step instructions for a cold process, and every process in here I go over, the cold process, the hot process, and the liquid soap. They all have picture tutorials with step-by-step instructions, and I also have my videos hyperlinked in there, so no matter however you learn, if you want to see it and you want to hear it, it's in there for you, because I know people learn differently in different ways, and some people just like to read it, and other people like to hear it, and other people like to see it as well. And I am a multisensory learner, so I do a lot better if I can see it, hear it, and then do it. So I go over cold process cleanup, common problems with cold process tips. I go over cure time, soap stamping, beveling and planing your soaps, packaging, storing your soaps, herbal infusions, cold process swirling techniques, embeds. Melt and pour soaps I don't do as much, so I just briefly talk about them in the book, and I do give you the resource of the Soap Queen for the melt and pour. My personal cold process recipes are in this book. My best-selling recipes are in this book. Salt bars, Soul Seaf bars, hot process cleanup, hot process soap making, creating HP recipes, the hot process recipes. Now I do my recipes completely different for cold process and hot process and liquid soap. Like every process requires different recipes, so I walk you through all of that in the book. Okay, and there's different percentages of oils for hot process recipes that I recommend. And the hot process soap recipes, my personal ones that I've created, and then the fluid hot process soap making. So this was a big addition for the second update. So there's a whole section on there, and that includes the vegan palm-free fluid hot process recipes. And I had the videos on my YouTube channel, but they are hyperlinked in here as well. And those worked really well. You don't have to use stearic acid. You don't have to use yogurt. I mean, these worked amazingly well. Step-by-step hot process soap making with the picture tutorial. And then I go over my stained glass hot process. I go over rebatching, milk soap making, hot process milk soap making, beer soap, liquid soap making, my personal liquid soap recipes, and of course the step-by-step picture tutorial with the liquid soap making. I go over how to create the foaming soap, and I talk about why I don't use natural soap from shampoo for my hair. And I go over a little bit of labeling, but I also highly recommend Marie Gale's books. And then I have a section here for notes if you want to print it out, because this is printable, like I mentioned. And then I have soap making terms. If you're new, if you're not sure what something means, it's in here. I have a list of suppliers, other learning sources, soap and business coaching, and about me. But I'm going to show you just a little bit of what we're doing here. Okay, so this whole section, the fatty acid profiles of the oils and their properties, has been completely revamped for this third edition. And I've done it specifically for the upcoming project that I'm doing. but I wanted to show you that I have a ton of information in here for you, okay? And this is to save you time, and this is to save you money, and this is to give you the best information and education that you can have, for creating the best recipes, and to really understand what the fatty acids mean and do for your oils, and even what the fatty acids mean for your shelf life and the usage rate. The fatty acids make up all of that information. So once you go through this, you're going to understand, why uric acid, uh, you know, what it does. Like, you're going to understand it, and you're going to know that it makes the oil more stable, but it's also a toxic oil. So you're going to know, like, all of this stuff. You're going to be able to look at these oils and understand, what it means for you and your soap recipe, what it means for your usage rate, and what it means for the shelf life of your oils. So that is going to be huge in creating your recipes, and just to have that understanding. And there's no other resource out there like this, so I wanted to put this together for you. And the original update, I think, had around 30 or 35 oils, but this one has about 50 oils. And I've created the separate charts for each oil, so it's simple and it's easy, and it's going to save you time. And you are going to understand what everything does, okay? That's why I have done this. So you'll be able to see the properties, you'll be able to see, what it does, the usage rate, and the shelf life of the oils. Okay, and that's all in here. There's 50 oils in here. But if there's something missing that you want, please let me know, and we will add it, okay? So what I've done, originally what I did was, I went through several sources of, for the oils and to get the fatty acid profile. So I would do, I don't know, 3 to 5 sources for each oil to get the best percentage range of the fatty acids. And the oil properties are what they are, but I also combine things with my personal experience in the book as well too. So there is a lot of information and just a lot of stuff to soak in, but it's all in here for you. And this book is meant to to guide you and to help you and to stay with you and to be a resource and to grow with you, and that's what this has done. Okay, so my whole purpose was to save you time, to save you money, and to give you the education that you need that isn't out there. So, but I also want, I mentioned my soap making group. It's called Soap Making and Business Coaching, and I was gonna show you just some testimonials that people had left in the group. Okay, so like Ellen, she says, fantastic book for learning about and making cold process soap and hot process soap. There is an incredible amount of information shared, well written, and I am excited to learn the techniques and methods within. Thank you, Ellen. And Angie says, oh my god, an excellent handbook loaded with illustrations and step-by-step information about how to make hot process, cold process, SGHP, and this book has recipes for all levels of soapers, and I love my soapers Bible. Thank you, Angie. And Claudia said, I purchased Tina's ebook when I started making soaps, deodorants, and toothpaste. Her book has a wealth of information and truly sets the groundwork for those that want to know the hows and whys of ingredients, etc., and provides step-by-step instructions with great pictures. It has given me a strong foundation in my soap making skills, and I still continue to reread and grow. I highly recommend this book. Thank you, Claudia. And Charlotte says, I love your soap and deodorant ebooks. Best ebooks I have ever purchased. I admire your knowledge and research. It is worth every penny I spent. You're the very best, Tina. Thank you, Charlotte. And Tammy says, I purchased this book after watching numerous videos on soap making. There is so much information out there, but this handbook puts the resources you need all in one place. It's been my Bible, sort to say, for soaping. Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Tammy, for saying that. Namnea says, extremely useful book, easy to read and understand. She gives info about soap making that most soap makers don't even know. You can use it as a reference guide to look up specific questions, and even gives out her own top-selling recipes. This book is chock full of knowledge for every kind of soaper and every level of soaper. Great beginner book and great book for seasoned soapers. Lots to learn from this book. Best soap book out there. Just wish I had it in print. And hopefully I work on that someday. I'll get there. And Jan has just started making soap after she got my book, and she has been doing amazing. And this is what this book is for: is to take you from beginner to knowing what you're doing a lot sooner and being able to do amazing things. You know, like instead of taking 2 years of trial and error and trying to learn everything on your own, this book cuts that out and gives you everything that you need. So Jan says, I've recently purchased the Soap Making Handbook Volume 1 by Tina. It has been the best investment I've made in my soap making venture yet. I purchased this ebook about 2 months ago, and after reading it once, I started making cold process soaps. The great thing about this book is that it is easy to understand but still scientific. It gets right to the point. Her explanations for how and why are so easy to understand, and the color illustrations bring it all together. This is my go-to reference whenever I have a question about soap making. This ebook has made me so comfortable, so confident in making soaps that I make soap practically every day. I can't thank Tina enough for sharing her knowledge and helping me to be a well-informed soap maker. Thank you. Thank you, Jan, for saying that. You guys are all doing amazing. And there was another one down here by Gina. It says, I've been making soap for a little while now, and I've been continuously searching for materials to learn new things, and I've bought many books, watched countless videos, and done hours of research online. All this said, I recently purchased Tina's book, The Soap Making Handbook Volume 1, and I am thoroughly impressed. I can honestly say that it's one of the best, if not the best purchase I've made in the area of education. It's extremely thorough and well laid out. It's an exceptional resource. I just want to take a moment to thank you personally for all the hard work and effort that you obviously put into the research and writing of the book. I am certain I will continue to refer to it for years to come. So I just want to give a big shout out to my group. Everyone in it, you guys are doing so amazing and so awesome. And I'm so glad you guys are here, and you guys are awesome. So if you haven't joined the group, join it. Alright, so if you have not purchased it yet, I will tell you where to get it. Okay, it's on my website, naturalsudsandmore.com, on the ebook page. But if you have a Mac, for some reason the Gumroad links on my website get kind of finicky with the Macs. So please purchase on my Etsy store, and that's etsy.com/shop/naturalsudsandmore. Okay, and you can subscribe to my website for all the updates, and you can join my Facebook group, Soap Making and Business Coaching. I also have a like page that's just Tina Monk, and I also have, Instagram at Natural Suds and More, and I also have another Facebook page that's just Natural Suds and More. So all of this information is in here for you, and it's to save you time, it's to save you money, and it's to help you create the best soap recipes you possibly can. When you're ready to get to that point. And this book is for beginners all the way up to seasoned soapers for a resource, and to give you a better understanding. And if you really want to take this to the next level, just learning, just a continuous learning is the best way that you can succeed and to keep growing. And especially if you're in business, I can't stress that enough, that just practicing a life of continuous learning is the way to go. So you can never have enough knowledge on the subject that you need, and so this is what this is here for. So, and like I said, there's something big that I'm working on that's coming up, and people that are subscribed will be able to get that first, and people that have bought the book will get the discount for it too already. So like I said, naturalsudsandmore.com, and if you have any questions, please let me know. You can email me, and you can ask in the group too. So I hope to see you inside the group, and thank you so much for watching, and please comment if you have any questions. Thank you so much.